Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Yellow Brick Cinema Talks. I'm here with Sean today. We're going to be talking about positivity as control, such as just bringing positivity to the workplace. Is it good? Versus having maybe bosses back in the day where they would just yell at you and just be back in the day workplaces where it just was just like you had five different bosses yelling at you. Maybe you still do, I don't know. But is having a positivity workplace the way to go where everyone sends maybe gratitude emails, good vibes only? What do you think, Sean? I mean, I'm curious on your opinion on this.
I think positivity is good, but I think it has to be real. And so you you have to really be honest with what are you being positive about. It's not a workplace. It's not a good idea to say good job all the time to everyone, regardless of whether or not they're doing a good job.
Yes.
And I come from the generation of participation trophies, and it's a bit confusing when you actually it can be quite confusing and almost disorienting. On the flip side, you say, well, but wouldn't people feel left out if there's only one trophy, or if they're always chasing approval and praise that they're never finding? And I'm thinking of Citizen Kane, or so, someone with a huge hole in their heart and in their soul, and nothing is ever enough. And they're like, okay, well, maybe someone should have told that person good job somewhere along the way. But the key is only if it's warranted, because positivity is so awesome, but if it's false, then it's almost like worse than getting yelled at.
And it's almost unproductive at times. If you like you mentioned, if you despite the person's work efforts, if you constantly just told them, "Well, you're so good, you're doing so well," in their mind, it's going to make them feel comfortable at not performing as well. And so I think obviously having a positive environment is great. I mean, I think that's a good. Obviously, nobody wants to be yelled at all the time and have 15 different bosses all screaming on their ear. But also, there's a point where there has to be a little bit of realism. I think that saying it when it is warranted when you do something good, but not all the time where people becomes a norm to them, where they just go, okay, well, I can just do whatever, not do the work, and I still get treated as the participation award. And so I think there is a part of that. And I think it also happens in smaller organizations or smaller companies. For instance, Yellow Brick Cinema, as we were talking offline here, and Sean mentioned how we talk on WhatsApp when it's more personal. It's a small group where we make jokes sometimes. We put memes, and it becomes more of a positive workplace. It's not always about business. Obviously, 90% of it is, but we do include sometimes memes, and we see stuff and we joke around. But I think that helps with the happiness of everyone in the output that we do, the videos that we make. We try to make it more personal. We try to make it more stuff that we personally like ourselves. So I do think there is a key aspect being positive in the workplace and creating that positive environment.
Yeah, it's really bringing your best. And so our team is a really good example where we do so much, and everyone is working very, very hard. But we're doing something we love, and we also get along really well. And so when I say bringing our best, it's like everyone shows up professional, they're courteous, no one's mean, no one drops the ball, everyone is helping everyone else. If someone's overloaded, we all like each other, so we want to come in and say, hey, what can we take off your plate? I've just finished something. What can I jump over here and help you with? that's all. It becomes being part of a family, and you say, well, how would you treat your family? All of those ways. You want to really bring the best you can because you care about these people, and that's like the best of both worlds, right? That's where you get there via professionalism, and you realize that in a good professional environment, you you are very honest, but you're surrounded by people that you'd want to be around. And so the honesty leads to mostly positive things. And then if there's any critique, it's done through the lens of honesty and positivity, because these are people you like. So you're not saying you're doing a terrible job, get out of here, I never want to see you again. It's more like, hey, I really love working with you. So what if we tried this thing this way or that way? And yeah, the hierarchies are very real. It's not this utopian dream and everything. Any kind of challenge is hard, but that's awesome, right? I'm not saying it should be easy. I'm saying people should do challenging things with people they like, and you have a ton of fun. When I'm not working, I'm hanging out with a bunch of people who are at this company, you know, like on the Yellowbrick team, and we're like doing typically challenging stuff, whether it's hobbies or trying new stuff in the, you know, or making music. Or making music's not easy, and I mean that in the most loving, best way possible, as in it's awesome. That's why we do it. So all of that's really, but the key there is it's honest. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm pretending like I like this, but I don't actually like this, and I've just got to say you're doing a good job, but you're not really doing a good job. That's not positivity. That's just lying. And you don't lie to people you like, right? That's lying to someone is a mean thing to do. And it's a terrible idea to do on a team, because then the team doesn't get better. And you become distanced from the people. People don't actually get to know you. They just know this version of yourself that you're projecting. So that's all fake. And I think there's this uncanny valley where people are allergic to it. And see, here's what happens is they sense it and they associate that with positivity, but it's not. And then they say, oh, I don't like positivity. But if not positivity, what is there? And by the way, no one should be yelling at people, right? Even in environments where people do yell at people, a lot of the time it's performative. Boot camp and so forth is performative. Coaches yelling, it's usually the sign of either not a good coach or some kind of performative, make you part of the family vibe. But if you find yourself routinely getting yelled at or yelling at people, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I got a funny story.
Or you're really far away, or you're like really far, or you're like really far away, and you have to yell to hear each other.
Well, that's one way you could communicate, is if you're really far away. I guess that's that's an exception, and I guess it depends on vocal term. But it just brings me up to a situation when I was younger and I worked for this real estate company. It was a corporation. It was only corporate company I ever worked for. I just refused to work with corporations. I'm like, all right, I'll just do it. I worked for him. I worked for 2 weeks, and then the head boss came in. He decided to come down from the corporate, and everyone's like, don't talk to him. Don't talk, like he's a god. And I just go, no, I'm not doing this. I quit. I left that job so quick. I'm just like, how can I not just talk to a person like, and after that, I just started my own business, and then life carried on from there. But it's all about, like, now at Yellowbrick Cinema, it doesn't feel anything remotely like that. It feels it's about communicating. When you can joke around and have fun, it didn't feel. And there's a lot of companies that I see a big change over the years. I think mainly over past COVID time, where people more work from home. They got more comfortable. They felt more themselves. They become more. They kind of stopped putting up with the yelling. It was that yelling kind of phase was pre-COVID, it seems like. And then once they got to their home, where they felt like they weren't being hawk-eyed over everything, it almost felt like people opened up a little more, and it almost gave them more options, and they I think they became more relaxed that way, in some cases. But yeah, it's definitely important to have that uh, positive but honest work mindset, because that just, first off, it amplifies a team. A coach doesn't say, hey, go out there, we're going to lose today. They go say, hey, we're going to win out there
Yeah.
today. Despite, even if you're going to lose, you still have to have a positive attitude. Um, or you can't just be overly, you know, fake about it. You have to be transparent and honest, but you can share it in a way, and you know, and have good vibes without having without being overly what, how do I explain this? Without being fake about it, just basically being fake about it.
Yeah. I've never seen the fakeness. And I've seen all those movies. I love the movie Office Space. There's the show The Office. There's these versions of there's some kind of I don't think this used to be a fiction. I think it's a fiction for people our age, but I think there used to be a thing where you could sort of drop in to the corporate workforce, and there was some, it was like some form of selling out. Like if your band didn't work out, you could quote unquote get a job, and it would be in some kind of office where people would have birthday parties, and they would half-heartedly sing the happy birthday song or something like that. I've never been in that environment. Maybe it's just people who are like younger people just don't relate to. It's like, what workforce are you talking about that you can drop into? The I'll put it like this: the struggles of people our age aren't really whether or not they remain authentic to themselves in their career, and do they pursue their dream, or do they drop into some kind of phone it in easy white collar job where people are fake nice to each other. And I actually think there's one way to hear that and say, ooh, is that because those jobs don't exist? And the answer is yes. Uh, but the other way to read that is that you're sort of you're forced to do things that you're forced to instigate a lot of your own opportunity, and then that's downstream of, you can really only do that with things you have some insight into, and that's downstream of, well, you're probably interested in things in order to develop insight in them. And what this leads to is you end up trying a lot of hard things that are, like, broadly speaking, hard, because if a lot of people could do them, they wouldn't be opportunities. So they're hard for most people. They might be hard for you, but you might have some kind of edge. With us, it's music, but like whatever it is, okay, great. But this is a long way of saying you're probably going to end up doing it with people you like, because those are the only people who are going to work with you on something hard, because you're gonna like fail all the time, and you're gonna get it right eventually, but you have to fail 100 times to get to that point. And the only people you can fail 100 times with are people you like. So you're probably gonna find that you're like very real with the people around you, but you're also very nice because you like each other. And if people aren't pleasant and positive, and they're doing something hard, then the team will just blow up, and everyone will quit. They'll say, oh, I don't want to do something difficult around people who are mean to me. I feel like that's way more common with people our age than the alternative of someone saying, well, I'll stay in this like easy job with these torturous bosses who come bother me once a week or something like that. I find, and I'm sure with even younger people, like people who aren't even in the workforce yet, there's going to be some kind of different paradigm with a lot of automation emerging. I think the nature of work is going to change entirely. I just can't imagine a world where we and our contemporaries aren't positive, direct, and courteous. And I will say, in a sustainable way, because I've definitely heard those horror stories, but they're usually punctuated by, and that's when that's why that company went out of business, because that guy kept yelling at people, which either means he was hiring the wrong people, or uh, he was mean and everybody quit, and inevitably they didn't do the thing they were trying to do.
Yeah, so that brings me to the other end of things. As I put myself in the company's position, and I go, okay, obviously I want a happy staff, I want everyone to be happy, but I also want productivity. I want to make my company grow. Now, is it where's the compromise? Do you have a harsh work environment
I've got it. I've got it.
You got it?
I
All right.
do. You nailed it. Okay. You have to be productive, but you want people to be happy. But let's unpack that. People who aren't productive, or businesses that aren't productive, or environments that aren't productive, is anybody in them really happy? And the answer is they may be posting or something like that. But what that actually translates to is whatever that environment is, the person's coasting in is supporting something else that's making them happy. People tend to get really unhappy when they're not productive. They're not making progress. People can like lose their minds if things are too easy or they're stagnant. And when people develop learned helplessness in an environment where they try a bunch of things and nothing's working, it's depressing beyond belief, and no amount of fake congratulations is going to get people through that. And there are examples all throughout history of companies or countries where everyone says, "Oh, everything's fine, everyone's a genius, there's their job," but it's going down the tubes. You just can't get away from the real gut feeling about how things are going. And I think downstream of that is the way people treat each other. Or maybe it's a virtuous cycle. Maybe it is, if people treat each other well, that means you've got the right people. The right people can kind of do anything. And that's really powerful. Every like, whether it's us or other teams that are doing cool stuff, it's usually the people. It's not usually they've built a better mousetrap. It just takes care of itself. It's usually it's the people, and they're going to be solving unforeseen problems that come up. But to them, they just think about every time we do a meeting or we do one of these, or fundamentally we just like talking to each other and working together. And then if something cool happens, great, we just did something cool together. Okay, if something bad happens and we have to fix it, okay, great, we just fixed it together. That's awesome. It's more about the connection, again, for us, because we emerge into a different economic climate, so we just don't have those experiences of the easy, stable, fake happy surroundings.
Yeah, I hear both sides a lot. Even a story that my girlfriend's friends, she worked at a company, and she just got hired at a company, and she just went into a company that there was a lot of fakeness going on. There was, I think, like 12 people in her position that quit weeks prior to her, and it was just a bad work environment. You could tell the company wasn't doing too well itself, and it just shows, I mean, what the people really do make the company. And you could have, I see this often with startups too. You have people, there are the startups that there are people that really have a goal in mind. They're just really focused. They just really want to achieve this goal. And then there are startups that are money goal minded. They just want to get, founder funds and just start up just to start up, and then they all have a collective mindset. And you can always tell the difference. I I see these with a lot of companies, not all of them, but some, is the ones that are trying to manage with what they got. They go so much farther than the ones that are
Yeah.
granted millions and millions, and they just burn through money because it's like you're handed a blank check basically, and you can just go do whatever. While the ones that sit in the basements, the Mark Zuckerbergs where they'd be in a college dorm, the Jeff Bezos where they're in a tiny little office that says Amazon and just grind it through, and you definitely see that they just had a goal in mind, and I'm sure they got along. I'm sure there was arguments, but I'm sure they made it work by a workplace environment where they made people want to be at this job. They made people want to be happy. They wanted people to show that your efforts are being put forward, and to grow a company that's one day going to be huge.
Yeah, and I think that comes back to that great phrase, necessity is the mother of invention. So constraints can be quite good because constraints are this involuntary form of discipline. You just don't get overloaded with choices. Like if you raise a few $1,000,000, okay, great. Unless the worst thing that can happen is you raise money that you don't know what to do with, and then you start looking for ways to spend money. This is terrible. It's a disaster.
I've seen that. Yeah.
We've seen it. Fortunately, we haven't really been a part of it, but we've seen it, and people are they're like explaining, oh great, I just did this thing, but it's like the dog catches the car, and you go, okay, now what? And usually that really leads to that leads to terrible regret. As in usually it's like, oh, if only we had more time to fully bake what we were doing. Because there's a way to spend every dollar. There's a way to deploy every resource. The bad thing is when the timing's not calibrated right, and you go, okay, we got all this resource, don't know what to do with it. It either dies on the vine or you misallocate it, and then in a year or 2 years, whatever, you go, oh, if only we used such and such in the right way. The opportunity slipped through our fingers. So sad. Meanwhile, teams with essentially nothing but real camaraderie, which again is rooted in honesty. And when you don't have much, there's no incentive to be dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
You have this radical honesty, and not in a buzzwordy way, in like not in a, oh, I'm trying to keep my job way. Like, oh, we're this awesome, honest company, but secretly everyone's just trying to keep their job. So they're actually they're like very dishonest, and you go, well, anybody can say anything about anybody, but it's a very charged, tense environment where everyone's just trying to disappear and be left alone. As in the victory is essentially not getting kicked out, which is typically top-heavy organizations that throw around these buzzwords. Meanwhile, if everyone's working out of a basement and the only reason they're there is they like each other and they're trying to do something cool, then good things happen. And maybe they don't happen right away, but the cool part is if you have a bunch, you try to do a bunch of things and none of them work, and you just keep getting inundated with problems, and you have 10 bad days in a row or 100 bad days in a row, or you're struggling with such and such, but you actually like the people and you do good things together every day, you can take a lot of knocks and keep going. And the neat thing is then when something gets traction, you're gonna make the right decisions with it. You're not gonna let it slip through your fingers. You got a hot team, and everyone's being nice, but they're being honest. So they're honest about being nice. Boom, you're good to go. That's a really powerful thing.
Yeah, and I think that can conclude basically the good vibes workplace is the transparency, the honesty, doing something that you like doing with people that you like doing it with, and that have a mutual goal. And if you're in a workplace like that, I think that's the best thing, is having those good vibes, is not being a good vibes at a bad workplace. It's good vibes at a good workplace, with a mutual goal in mind. And ultimately, I think that will lead to being happy, relaxing, less stress, and much other things. So, I mean, I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comments section. Do you work in a good environment? Do you have a job? do you what is what do you prefer working in the office? Do you prefer strict work environment, or do you prefer relaxed work environment? Be curious what people said on this.
I have two questions. Yeah, drop in the comment, what's the nicest thing someone said to you at work? And also, what's the nicest thing you've said to someone at work? And just try to be honest. So only drop something in the comments if you've truly, if there's true honesty going both ways. And I really hope that and that we see a lot of comments. I hope people are feeling this positivity and spreading it.
100%. I think it needs to happen. I mean, it's hard to understand it doesn't happen because we're in such a place where it happens all the time. So it's really hard to understand a workplace that doesn't have an environment that's hostile or something. So I'd be curious to see what people say, whether or not what their experiences are. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for this, as well as Sean for being on this podcast. Next week, we will have another podcast for you. So leave in the comments as well if you want a topic that you want touched based on, and we will talk about it. Thanks again, and we'll see you then.